I literally don't know anything about you or what you do. So like you started out doing bags, like selling, like reselling bags and stuff.
Like selling bags, thrifting things, kind of resewing. I love to sew.
Oh, really? Okay, so you like do you like re-alter stuff?
Yeah, I would re-alter. Actually, I have a whole. I kind of want to get into like seamstress, like because nobody does it anymore. And there's so many times that people come in the store and I have like a dress or like a swimsuit that needs to be like altered to fit like that person better.
Yeah.
Do y'all know how much money I can make?
Oh,
if
I'm
I got like
sure.
really good at it and could just do it in-house alterations.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And because they're all like, not to be rude or ugly, but they're all dying off. Like all the seamstresses are old ladies.
Yeah.
Like I need to get on this because it's like trades. Like nobody wants to do these trades. And so like the supply and demand outweighs each other. And so there's a huge demand right now.
And the supply is low.
And the supply is like one per county if you're lucky. Or like take it to your grandmother's house and like hope and pray she doesn't jack it up.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
That might be the new business scheme right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or like I want to get into your store of like so you have a physical location?
Yeah, brick and mortar.
Cool. Sweet. And so you just have like all types of clothing or what?
So my original business model started, I guess, back in December of 2020. And I thought I didn't want to go to college anymore. I'm so thankful I'm still in college. Let me just preface that. I love college.
College is nice.
Though on the other hand, at this point was like really burnt out. Like obviously like I kind of like took like the COVID year. I like really wasn't like in school. Like I took like one class all month so I could do like sorority recruitment like with my sorority because I wanted to do that and go through that and whatever whole shebang. And I remember like it's duck season and my waders had a hole in them. Finding waders in the middle of duck season, struggle on its own. Finding women's duck waders, because also I feel like this is like important. If I had like a 5, 6 or 7 foot, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Right.
But I have a men's size 10, women's size 12 foot. So to buy a men's size 10 pair of waders, I would look like the Michelin tire guy.
Yeah,
like,
we don't want that.
You'd be like,
I would like drown in like the water because I would like fall because it would be like gigantuous on me. So I was like, nobody around here like in Guntersville, and we're like known for like not necessarily duck hunting, but like just outdoor industry in general. I mean, we have the MLF headquarters there, so just like a big outdoor clientele. And I was like, nobody sells this. Like, this is kind of weird. So I was like, oh well, I'm gonna sell waders. And my dad was like, sell the waders, like tear out. Like, you don't want to go to med school. I've told you you don't want to go to med school. Like, you would be bored out of your mind. Because it's consistency and routine, and I don't do well with consistency and routine.
Yeah.
And anyways, then my mom's like, well, you just can't sell waders. And I was like, okay, I'll sell waders and bikinis. And my mom's like, you can't just like do that either. So then it kind of just became like a Bass Pro Shop and a Saks Fifth Avenue had a weird kid, and that weird kid is my store.
Gotcha.
That's like the best way to describe it. So I sell everything from Drake, Tom Beckby, Barber, Local Boy, Old Row, Barstool, to on the other end, I sell Love Shack Fancy, A Goldie, Aviator Nation, Maid Worn, L Space, all those nice like women's luxury brands. So
that's amazing. Well, it's so interesting how you were able to find a way where you can bring the two together and put it under one roof. So I'm excited for this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm ready to dig in. You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. What's up, guys? Welcome back to What's Next Birmingham. Today we have an exciting guest, Maggie, sitting with us. And Maggie, I reached out to you on Instagram, and a number of mutual connections, the Incubator and JMC. But when I found out about your business, the store, it was such an interesting, like I said before, it's such an interesting way to bring the two sort of industries together.
What was it? It was Bass Pro Shops and Saks.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
love that. So tell me, originally, how were you selling before you got into the store, or like what did that look like?
Like online?
I kind of did like, no, I didn't have online because when I opened the store, I didn't have online.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of did like a pop up like here and there, but I just took like all my capital that my parents had saved for me to go to med school and invested it because I mean, my parents were going to invest in my education.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I've learned so much more than I think I would have ever learned in med school because I would have sat in med school like this, like,
Right.
Yeah.
get me out of class. I'm bored. Like, let me start residency because that part I think I genuinely would have enjoyed. And I do like medical stuff and that does interest me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a classroom sitter.
Well, that's good that you're
Yeah.
self-aware.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's important. So the store, was that the first, like your first sale for Corbitt Co? Is that right? Corbitt Co.
mhm.
So was the first sale that y'all made in the store?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. So like, how did you go and like get these brands in your store?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the process of doing that?
So it was really tricky because obviously I wanted to deal with like household name companies and not just kind of my whole stitch also is if you notice anything about my store, it is typically ethically made, ethically sourced. A lot of it's like B certified,
Mm-hmm.
made in America, ethically made, not made in it's not fast fashion.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mhm,
kind of my whole
mhm.
thing. Like I'm very anti Shein, very anti Amazon. I think it's very bad for our economy. I think it's very bad for our planet.
It hurts entrepreneurs and
Yeah,
small
it hurts-
business.
It hurts small businesses. I think it hurts our communities. I think it's just like a quick fix. Like Temu, oh god.
All the pollution and
Yeah.
waste.
And not only that, but like I have like a very like soft spot for kids like in child labor. Like that just does
Yeah.
not like I cannot
Yeah.
consciously wear something and know that somebody is getting underpaid to make this. So that also should be noted about my store before I like go in. So when
Yeah.
I'm like buying, I'm not buying these like cheap fast fashion brands that they have at these markets. So I really, really struggled until I actually made a connection at Samford
Mm-hmm.
with Barber. Barber was the first company that like
Wow.
took a chance on me,
Yeah.
which is crazy because like Barber, I think, doesn't like to do business with people unless you've been in business for 5 years.
Right.
And at opening day, I had Barber in the store.
Wow. That's
All
amazing.
because luckily a guy who was like SGA president at Samford,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was like the Pie Cat president.
Mm-hmm.
I just like happened to know him,
Mm-hmm.
and his sister was like my territory rep for Barber, and he was like, "Nah, like she can back it, like." And it was just like
So that's what you do is you
Wow.
get in contact with the rep for that brand in this
Mm.
location.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And they
Yeah.
determine if you'd be like a good fit for getting
Yeah,
the
they
brand
can
in.
literally say yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and now it's kind of weird that I'm dealing with like some of these like bigger name brands. They're very, very funny
Mm-hmm.
about who you can pair their stuff with. So like, let's say brand A doesn't want you to sell brand B, and they won't
Right.
sell to you unless you get rid of brand B.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? Because it sounded like
Yeah,
earlier you
I've-
have a lot of brands.
Yes,
Mhm.
so, I
So are
have
they?
seen
They're
that.
all
So,
cool.
I sold this t-shirt brand that was like a graphic tee brand that's like a lower end brand. So I would say like $40-$50 price point. And now I sell now I like have picked up this brand. It's called Made Worn, and
Mhm.
it's made in the United States. Every bit of material is sourced in the United States. But it's about $165 minimum price on the t-shirt.
What? Wow.
They're so comfortable.
Yeah.
But they're like really cool vintage looking graphic
Mhm.
tees. Like it's kind of like an if you know you know type thing. Like
So, I have a question about like the people that are coming to the stores. do you see more people, like more sales going towards one direction or the other? Like, because right now, like you said, there's the Saks kind of those brands, and there's the Bass Pro Shop brands. How does that look like in the store?
It works really well together. Women
Mm-hmm.
will come in, shop for themselves, and then buy for their husbands, and vice versa.
Mm.
And it is the greatest place on earth. So my
Mhm.
like kind of business module is it's a place where like your husband would want to come and shop.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna dread coming in my store because I have a full service bar in my store.
Nice.
So I on
Really?
Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays, I serve alcohol. We have an open container law. And
Mhm.
so my employees who are 21 are allowed to serve alcohol after following proper protocol and checking IDs and
Wow.
you know.
Mhm. And
we
you don't have
just-
to have a liquor license or
It's
anything?
I'm not selling it.
Oh, you're just giving it away.
Just free beer.
Mm.
Free beer. You don't have to have a liquor license.
Cool.
If
I
you're
know where
giving
I'm
it away.
going.
Yeah, come to my store. And we have special blue cups that comply with the open container law in the city.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's literally we do sipping shops every Friday and Saturday.
Wow.
Come.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
And we have a TV like behind the checkout counter, so we always have whatever football game. During the World Series, we had the World Series going. So
Mhm.
obviously, I like sports. That's kind of like my major and
Mhm.
my stuff
Mhm.
like that. So we
So
always have it. on.
JMC, is that kind of like what you were leading to? Of like, are you wanting to be like a sports writer or something like that?
Sports broadcasting. So
Gotcha.
my internship is with a company called Foul Territory, and so I have kind of like just started freshly. Yeah, it's fun. I like it, and I like baseball, so
Okay.
it's like something I just happen to understand and
Yeah.
enjoy. I grew up watching baseball with my grandfather, and so it's something that I've done since I was little and watched
Mhm.
since I was little, and so
Gotcha.
You go ahead.
So the store, what was the opening date? Do you know?
I will tell you.
Okay. I'm just curious because I want to
October
ask.
something, and I can tell you my sales from that day
Sure.
if that's what you were gonna
Sure.
ask.
That's cool.
sure.
Sales. Oh, we're having a good day already, and I'm not there, so that's good.
Oh, so you can like see your POS system like from.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's sick.
Love that.
See, that's real boss. That's real boss level shit. It's like, yeah, I'm just here on my podcast. My business done X amount of sales today.
I'm trying to figure out
Respect.
what year I opened. I
Respect.
think I opened in 21. That would make
Okay.
sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So October 21.
You said you were like around 2020 COVID time. You were like thinking about it. I know you said
Yeah,
earlier.
so it'd be okay. My first day open, I had 25 sales, and I did $2,100
Nice.
in net sales. So
That's
that's
great.
pretty good.
Heck
Yeah, that like probably
Love
pays
that.
some of the rent right there. you
Yeah.
know?
So the incubator it didn't start. You had the store before you got into the incubator.
Correct. I didn't
Got
know incubator was a thing until I was
Mhm.
sitting in class, and I like had to like leave class because I had like a business phone call, and I was like, Dr. Cartledge, like I have a phone call, like I want a business, like I've got to take this, and she was like,
Mhm.
and so after class she kind of like pulled me aside, and she was like, have you talked to Dr. Maisie? And I was like,
Mhm.
no, who's Dr.
that?
Maisie?
Yeah.
And so I was in the business school for 2 semesters.
Gotcha.
So I've kind of been every major you can be at Samford.
That's great.
Taking a
I love
trip.
that. Yeah, exactly.
So
So when you met Dr. Maisie and you got involved with the incubator, what were those key pieces that made you want to jump into that? Because when you already have like a brand that supports itself and you're able to
Yeah.
do those kind of numbers on your first day,
You don't really need the incubator, honestly.
So that's my question: is what have you gained from that? What was your intention with it?
So it is a great place for me to hear a second opinion from somebody
Mhm.
other than my parents,
Right.
because
Right.
a lot of times like it's really hard for us like as a family to sit down and just be like, oh, like how's the weather today, or like
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, like we'll be literally on the boat, and this is like such like a weird like concept, but like there have been times where I'm like surfing behind the boat, and my mom's like, when you get off, like call Kaylee, blah 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 blah, or like call so and so called wanting payment. And so I have like a very odd relationship with my parents because my parents are kind of like mentors to me, and
you don't get much chill time.
I don't get much chill time, but not only that, like they think like their way is, and they're valid. Like they run a successful like.
What do they do? What business?
My parents do power line construction and restoration, so they're dealing with money. I will
like
never,
contracts. And
yes,
stuff?
I will never ever be as successful as my parents in my business endeavors.
Hey, don't say
There's-
that. You know, you can't say that.
No.
Like,
I cannot be dealing.
but they, I mean, if they're doing that, they definitely are probably raking it in.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, they're definitely. It's going to be very hard to compete with what they do.
And it's a totally different business
Market.
and everything.
But I say all that to say, it's so nice, like, to have Dr. Maisie to kind of go and say, hey, like, this is, like, my parents' opinion. But I want your opinion because, like, or the group's opinion because it's, like, very frustrating. My parents didn't start, well, my dad started when he was younger than me. My dad started probably about the same time at 14. And so it's just, like, very frustrating sometimes, like, because we do deal in two totally different aspects of entrepreneurship. So it's like good to have a third party, and I like having that third party, but also like that I'm around people my age who are thinking like-minded, who are dealing with these issues, and not only that, but like they're wanting to better and grow themselves as well. So that's like really nice to be around.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's something like we've noticed is that mind multiplier effect is sometimes when you're sitting with a mentor, they're giving you advice, and that's the whole purpose behind having a mentor. But then you get surrounded by other people who think like you, and have
that's why we like to do the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it energizes us for what we're doing. Like you talking about your success is energizing me because I'm like, that's so sick. I want to be successful too, like you. You know, so it's like I love talking to people, and I guess being around all those people, it's kind of like you can build friendships in the incubator and, you know, and collab on stuff maybe.
Yeah, there's a really cool girl in the incubator. I'm actually really jealous of her. Her name's Claire Langford.
Yeah, she's one that she's coming on the next filming, so in January.
You were going to have her on at 1.
Yeah, she was supposed to come in today.
She's so cool. Like, she just did a Love Shack Fancy collab, which is like
Love Shack.
Huge. It's not like a Love Shack like B-52s.
No, I know.
But I sell Love Shack Fancy in my store, and I'm like, dude, this is like crazy. Like, this is a huge deal. Like, because it was hard enough like to get in contact with them to bring them into my store. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's crazy that she like just did she's actually, I think they're like right now as we speak. I'm so jealous. Like, that is so cool. So she's like a big like inspiration, I guess, to, like me, and she's a new member too. So like,
yeah, she's like a sophomore, right?
That's crazy. What is some advice you could give your younger self, or maybe somebody that's like a freshman at Samford, or somebody that wants to start a business? Like, what would you tell them?
Or even me, like, this is a question that I've got of like, what's some advice that you would give me? So I'm a junior. I also run a business, and I'm looking at my senior year and saying, how do I allocate my time? Like, what is some advice that you could give to me that applies directly to that point in your life?
I don't care about you guys. I want my personal.
I think a lot of people are in the same circumstance as me.
Give me like a brief synopsis of your business. I'm so sorry, I don't know.
Well, the question I'm asking about is time balance.
Oh,
how
time
do you balance
balance?
classes in your senior year versus your business endeavors and all of that?
My personal assistant keeps me on a strict schedule.
So get an assistant.
Get an assistant if you can afford it. If not, like, I know there's like some cool AI services that do that for you. I've tried that. That doesn't work really well for me. I need somebody.
You need somebody calling me,
yeah,
yelling at me.
Like, hey, like, pay this person today. You've got this, this, and this on your list. Hey, also, by the way, like, get your paper done. Get that done. And I have like a momager too. I guess like back to the question of like, who's your manager? My mom. Gotcha. My mom like micromanages me to a T. Like, my mom's like, even though like my mom's not here, she'll be like, you can't go out and do anything until, I mean, I obviously could, but like in my head, like she's telling me like I can't go out and do something until this is done. So like I have to do it. I have to get it done.
Yeah.
And so
is that healthy?
No.
Yeah, I feel like that can become unhealthy at some point, you know.
But I've always kind of like grown up like that, so I don't really know like a difference if that like
Yeah.
she's not like
Yeah.
like conservatorship over me, but like
Yeah.
I it's definitely like I have a type B is type B, the personality where it's like just like really don't care, like
Yeah.
just
A is like more outgoing and like enthusiastic about
no,
stuff.
never mind, I'm a type A.
Okay, yeah.
I'm the type A
Yeah.
person. I don't even know, like it's like I was late today. If somebody was with me, like getting my stuff and like helping me, I'm like, hey, grab this, that, this, and this, and go get this, and this, and do this, and this.
I feel like you
great at
undervalue yourself. I feel like you are like, oh, if I need somebody to tell me to do this, but I feel like you have that ability.
Yeah, I definitely
You know?
have that ability. It's just like getting it actually done for me is like the really hard part. And
That's fair.
so I thrive obviously better in situations like that. But time management, I'm just all over the place. I go to the store probably like once or twice a week. I work out 3 times a day. And I go to class, and on top of that, somehow I have time for a social life. And
Yeah,
I don't
how
know,
in the world?
I don't know like if y'all like know this, I model too. So like yesterday I like went and did a photo shoot and cried afterwards because they threaded my eyebrows. I've never touched my eyebrows, and I called my mom crying afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah. But they don't look bad, but it was just like a big change for me. So
Do you model for your
yeah,
store?
so I model for my store, but I also have done some cool modeling things. I've walked New York Fashion
Yeah, you
Week.
said you were in
Cool.
Miami for Swim Week.
Yeah, I walked
whatever.
Miami Swim Week
That's crazy.
twice. I could have gone and walked Las Vegas Swim Week, but I had been in Charlotte the week before, and then I would have immediately. I flew from. Talk about time management. There's no time to be sick. Like if you were sick, suck it up, go. I had E. coli poisoning. Got on a flight to Charlotte, went to Charlotte, still sick. Had to go to market. Had to go work. Went and got like multiple IVs on multiple different days to just like have some color to me. Couldn't eat. Couldn't do anything. My content creator had like phone with me, and she was like taking care of me. Bless her soul. And then on top of that, we like leave Charlotte. I'm finally like feeling a little bit better. I like eat some food in the airport. I'm like, we are smooth sailing. Like I'm feeling better. Like I don't think I'm sick anymore. Like I definitely don't have E. coli poisoning. We land in Dallas. Like I think I'm just feeling great. Nope, still got it. And so I could have flown from Dallas to Vegas to do Las Vegas Swim Week, but I was like, okay, at what point do we sacrifice like our health for a couple extra $100? So it was just kind of, I guess like for me, time management is really, I don't know what to do with myself when I don't have anything to do. But at the same time, at what point do I like take a step back and say, hey, my body is like obviously letting me know I'm not okay. I literally have E. coli poisoning over here. And I've flown to 2 different states with E. coli poisoning and have had to work on top of that. So I think like perseverance in how you manage your time is really key. And knowing that like even if you're like crying in the club sick, you just have to do it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Network is
100%.
definitely network.
I could definitely, on the modeling side, I could definitely see you on a stage in like Milan Fashion Week.
Yeah. So I actually got invited to go this is the 3rd year I've had to decline to go to Paris Fashion Week.
Oh man.
So that's kind of like a really sensitive subject.
Yeah.
Because I've never gotten like asked to like model in like Paris or Milan Fashion Week, but I've gotten invited to shows, and I'm like, I want to go so bad, but I also can't like take off from school for 2 weeks and like up and go to Europe. As much as
I was there like 2 weeks before in Paris, before Paris Fashion Week, and
it's chaos.
Yeah, it really is. And then this summer I was there just before the Olympics, and that was a whole nother layer of chaos.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, it was ridiculous, like everything being set up and all that. But I love your perspective on the future. And I can't wait to come by the store and check it out and see what the next developments are.
I'm excited. I want to check it out because
I'll
I'll be like, wow, this girl came on her podcast and she has this whole successful business. That like makes me feel successful because like you could have been like, oh, I don't want to come on the podcast or whatever.
But we really appreciate you.
Yeah, we do appreciate you coming on and talking.
Thanks for having me. I love to yap. So
hey, we do too.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes I'm like, I need to not yap so much,
No, me. Literally, I will talk all day, every day for fun.
No, if we could make these podcasts 3 hours and keep people's attention, we would.
We just gotta we gotta try to keep it shorter because we lose people even after 5-10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about my kind of whole stitch, in my marketing stitch for my company is right now I'm being pretty professional, I guess, but I'm the most unhinged person you will ever meet in your day-to-day life. And my whole kind of stitch, if you watch some content our reels, if I don't make them, they're professional, but if I make them, they're gonna be me drinking cranberry Sprite and shotgunning it, shotgunning a salsa.
You being a little bit of a troll?
Yeah, I love trolling. That is what I'm good at. I'm good at trolling. That's my thing. That's my stitch. I love to not make fun of people, but make fun of trends. So if you ever see me doing a TikTok, there was a Taylor Swift trend TikTok I did a couple this past summer, and I was definitely trolling everybody who did it. And I was doing it in a mockingly, jokingly way, and that's what gets more clicks for me. So being funny. Anytime I post a TikTok, just out of pocket, just saying whatever I think, always does better. Or me posting some goofy dance video does so much better
than being professional.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all my skincare routine today. Get ready with me, all prim and proper. No, that does not sell. That's not my brand. That's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
people like the unhinged kind of real rawness. I feel and it was funny how you said earlier you can maybe get canceled because of certain things like that. But honestly,
any
screw
press
it.
is good press.
Any press is good press
Agreed.
At some point. Maybe not Diddy press.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've been around some of those people.
Oh no.
I'm sure with all the fashion.
Hopefully there will be more. Yeah.
I hope I'm not around any of those people.
Well, I'm saying hopefully you'll be around them, just not in those rooms.
Oh, I was never in the room.
That's what I'm saying. So,
all right, time to sign off.
Thank you very much, Maggie. This was a really good conversation, and thank you for coming on. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everything that happens next. So
yeah, thanks. And I guess be sure, can I plug my
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
We'll
so
plug everything.
Instagram, website, all of that we'll have below.
LinkedIn. Maggie Corbitt.
Hey, she got
we'll
the
drop that
LinkedIn.
first.
Got it.
Instagram is at Corbitt Apparel. Website www.corbittapparel.com. TikTok Corbitt Apparel. And my personals are all Mag Corbitt. So easy peasy.
Perfect. I love it. Well, thanks again, Maggie. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Thanks for having
Peace.
me. Bye.
Bye.